What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the JT Sports Podcast. I'm your host, JT. We got some drama in college football. Wisconsin is taking Miami to court over cornerback Xavier Lucas, who started in every game for the Badgers last season as a freshman. He was their best player on defense. And at the end of the year, he decided he wanted to change the scenery. So he went to Wisconsin and he told them, hey, put my name in the portal, because if you didn't know this, players just don't automatically put themselves in the transfer portal. They have to go to the school's compliance office and they put their name in the portal for them. Well, Wisconsin illegally refused to enter Xavier Lucas in the portal because they got wind of Miami allegedly tampering with him using dirty recruiting, where they went to his home, they offered him a huge bag to come play for the U, which Wisconsin didn't like. And with them keeping Xavier Lucas from entering the portal, he had to find a different route to get to Miami, which he enrolled for the university, and he enrolled in the spring summer classes at Miami after hiring a lawyer. And with Wisconsin throwing a hissy fit over this, they now are taking Miami to the court over this issue. And dirty recruiting is just the new norm of college football. Wisconsin isn't going to win this lawsuit because Miami didn't really do anything wrong. The issue is that Xavier Lucas signed a 2-year NIL deal. And when you sign an offer or a contract, you have to honor it. Well, honor isn't a thing in college football. Despite signing your name on the dotted line, you're not obligated to fulfilling your obligations, apparently, and you should be able to transfer whenever you want to, and the school can't do anything about this. And this isn't really a Wisconsin issue per se. This is a Wisconsin booster issue because the boosters are the ones that pay these players. And no booster wants to lose an investment that he dished out a lot of money for. And with this, Wisconsin somewhat has to try to save face, because how are you going to get guys to donate to your collective if the guys that they pay for that are supposed to play for a set amount of years just don't offer or don't honor the deal and they can just leave whenever? The booster just essentially donated for nothing, which is only going to hurt your collective, and it's going to hurt your ability to recruit and use the portal effectively. And there was a Pac-12 staffer a few months ago who said that if you're not tampering, taking players off other teams, you're putting your program at a disadvantage. We saw one of Colorado's running backs get poached by Virginia for over $500,000. And somehow he ended up at South Carolina. But this is just something that's normal, that Wisconsin just doesn't want to accept the reality of. And they're trying to do everything but just come to the realization that they just lost money on this guy. Miami got a really good corner. He was the number 1 rated cornerback in this portal cycle. And he's expected to be a huge part of Miami's revamped secondary this year, while Wisconsin, they're more than likely going to finish with one of the worst records in the Big Ten this year. And you can understand why they're hurt about this. You don't want to lose a player as talented as what Xavier Lucas is. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. He has prototypical size for a first-round NFL corner. And losing a guy of his talents does nothing but make you an even worser team than what you already are. And a way that the NCAA or Congress could find a way to rectify this with the House settlement, because this isn't going to stop. Programs like Wisconsin that aren't traditional powerhouses, all they are a farm league of talent for bigger schools to come poach. You find a 3-star recruit that goes under the radar, you develop them for a year or two, and a bigger school like Miami, Ohio State comes along, gives that player a bigger bag, and you just did the heavy lifting for him. What should be implemented to somewhat rectify this problem is all these players have a buyout. So let's say that Wisconsin paid Xavier Lucas $200,000 to play for them over 2 years. If Miami wants to just steal him off the roster, they have to pay the buyout fee to get him. That's a more feasible way to solve this issue because Oregon has been tampering with guys for years. Dirk Cutter, Boise State's former offensive coordinator, said that Oregon was trying to take a couple of guys off their team. And yet nothing really happened to it or happened about it because that's just the nature of college football, and the NCAA being the NCAA, they don't do their job. Oregon also took an offensive lineman off USC, and nobody bat an eye about it because everybody else is doing it. So Wisconsin, instead of getting bent out of shape about this, what they should be doing is doing what people are doing to them, going on everybody else's roster and poaching their talent. How about you go take a few players off of Northwestern's roster or Illinois' roster that's not getting that much playing time? That's just what you got to do. You can't try to be clean in a sport where everybody's winning dirty. You got to get your hands dirty. And taking Miami to court isn't doing anything but further hurting Wisconsin in recruiting, because recruits that are in the South Florida area, when they see how Wisconsin refused to enter Xavier Lucas' name in the portal, they're not going to want to play for Wisconsin. Because what if Wisconsin does them the same way? And it also makes them look bad in the eyes of other possible recruits or transfers. When a guy comes to you and says, enter my name in the portal, you got to do nothing but abide by that, even if you don't like the circumstances by why they're transferring away. This is just the new normal college football, folks. Dirty recruiting is taking over the sport, and even with the House settlement being implemented, there still isn't going to be too many changes from this until somebody actually is able to put some guidelines and restrictions and say, yeah, tampering isn't really allowed, or you just have buyouts.